Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Weeklies. My name is Josh, and today let's talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin's monthly price action from 2023, remainder 2023, and rest of 2024, entire 2024, at a monthly average level, and do a AI based forecast using data since 2014 September. And this is the monthly average price for Bitcoin, color coded, and in the dots is the one that is historical, and in the line or the range is the forecast. So let's get started, and this is the trend line, logarithmic regression trend line function, and the overvaluation phases are the ones above this trend line, which are also typically coded in red color. The undervaluation phases are in green color. The greener the color, the more undervalued the phase. And the distance between the regression line and the points is actually for the depth of undervaluation or overvaluation. So last cycle, the overvaluation at a monthly average uh, price at November 2021 was at 2.2 standard deviations away from the mean at a price of 60,000, as I said. Ever since that, in December 2022, almost 1 year after the all-time high, the valuation at a monthly level was almost at 17,000. The z-score was negative 0.38, that is negative 0.38 standard deviation away from mean. And with all of that in mind, this is the AI based forecast and this is the base case of AI based forecast for Bitcoin's price action till December 2024, where the inspiration for the AI model is the historical price action. And technically, so for example, in 2020, when it was the last halving year, Bitcoin did make its way out of this trend line, like outside of this regression trend line to the overvaluation phase only in the last month of 2020. So that's the nature of Bitcoin in the last cycle. So and similarly in the cycle before that, it was a similar story. So for this cycle, this range of or the trend line in the year of halving is somewhere between it ends somewhere between 40 to 45,000, uh, and December 2024, if you take an example, if it does something similar to what it did in 2020 December, the price action per the AI model is at somewhere between 40 to 45,000. For and the lows are forecasted by one standard deviation away to the downside, and the highs are one standard deviation to the upside, based on historical price action, AI forecast, and Z score as a multiplier. So for December 2023, the downside or the lower end of the forecast for the AI model is at $26,000 at a monthly average. That doesn't mean that it cannot go below this price action, but if it does, that would be more than one standard deviation away move compared to its historical price action. So again, prices tend to be within one standard deviation 70% of the time. 30% of the time they go above or below that. So take that in mind, and I have purposefully kept it one standard deviation so that it captures the essence of future forecast, and not create a broader forecast where it's for example, Bitcoin can be between any price between 10,000 and 50,000. So that would not be of as help as a narrower range, albeit we might deviate slightly from that range. So similarly in December 2023, the higher end of the forecast is at 39,500. So that's the range. So from 26,000 till 39,000, that's the range of possibilities, where uh, the most likely price is somewhere in between those two. So again, if you do 26 and 39, so that would be somewhere into 33,000 range would be the average of both of them. So for let's focus to the month of halving. the highest price action, or the theoretical ceiling per the AI model, uh, at for month of April at a monthly average is at 43,400. And similarly for the downside for the month of halving is at 30,400. So from 43 to 30, so that is almost 36 37,000 at the average of both prices. And it also coincides with what the regression trend lines exact point would be at for month of April. Going to let's go another month, that is December 2024. This is what the AI model says, based on historical price, what it could be a theoretical ceiling. And these are not financial advice. As you can see, these are just an estimation per the using data science and AI technique and statistics to use forecast per the historical price. So for December 2024, the AI model has forecasted a price action of 47,100, um, at a ceiling level. That does mean that any moves outside 47,000 are kind of uh, require them to be more than one standard deviation moves, and those we usually get in the year after the halving. So that is in 2021, you see the first time the z-score turned more than one standard deviation away from the mean was in February 2021. And if you forecast that out, that would be sometime in January 2025. So up until that, per the AI model, the price action has this challenge of going beyond one standard deviation away from the mean. That's why the theoretical ceiling is at 47,000. Similarly, the undervaluation, or the theoretical floor, uh, at that point, if one standard deviation to the downside would be at 33,700. And this is not a straight the straight standard deviation calculation. It is also influenced by z-score of the past phase of past markets similar phase, at as a multiplier on top of the z-score. That's why you are seeing a much narrower range than if you would just calculate the one standard deviation plus and minus, based on something which is like you see in Bollinger Band. So for December 2024, as I mentioned, the range is from 33,700 to 47,700. So again, a $10,000 range. Sorry, $14,000 range. So if you add 33 plus 7, that would be the average of both of the forecasts, and that would be around 40,000. That is the average of price action at month of December, based on both the ceiling and the floor. So this is the first base case that I shared with you today. The second case that I wanted to share is, as Bitcoin, as you know, that it hasn't quite faced one whole recession yet. It would be unwise to kind of forecast about Bitcoin without considering a possibility of recession sometime before the end of year 2024. So this particular chart is again similar chart, uses similar AI logic, but also has a multiplier for recession. What could happen in that case? And the downside would not be just one standard deviation, it would be two standard deviation, or at times even more than two standard deviation away to the downside. The upside is the same. Again, in recession you wouldn't get a bull market where Bitcoin rallies more than one standard deviation. That is the thesis, and if that is not the case, then it will be updated once we move closer to the end of these timelines that we are forecasting. But for now, it makes sense to include a scenario where we encounter a recession, although the likelihood might vary based on your own hypothesis. This is something that I wanted to share. for let's start where we are right now. So in September, if let's say September, we are in middle of September, and if let's say tomorrow, hypothetically, there is a recession declared, per the AI model, uh, September wouldn't be a good candidate because we are already halfway in it. But October, the first full month where recession would, if theoretical starts, the first full month would be October, and the price action per the AI model in the first month of recession is at around 9,400. And if we let's say encounter recession, not in October but sometime in February, or February 2024, or March May 2024, these timelines would be shifted and these price actions will also not be the same. So again, as we get more and more dots, they influence these lines. So it makes worthwhile if you follow this content and subscribe to the channel, and also give this video a like, so that we can continue with this AI based approach for forecasting price action for major cryptos out there. So with that in mind, let's go to January December 2023 first. The 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 higher end that I spoke earlier, or the theoretical ceiling, doesn't change in this scenario. So I will just keep uh, talking more about the lower end of the forecast, that is the theoretical floor, and how it shifts. In December, the theoretical floor is at 12,200, and again, this is not just one bare outcome. This requires a major event to realize, something of the sort of recession or extreme bearish news for Bitcoin in particular. So again, for the month of halving, as you can see that the theoretical floor shifts quite a bit from almost 9,000 in October to 16,000 in April 2024. That's because uh, as we get more and more data and Bitcoin solidifies this price action in these territory, a downside becomes more and more, downside of this magnitude becomes more and more unlikely. So for example, it's very unlikely for Bitcoin to go to these levels of 3,000, even if the news is bearish, even if the macro environment is bearish. There are certain price actions which become more and more unlikely as the timeline progresses. And similarly, this is not just applies to the bearish case, it also applies to the bullish case. It's very unlikely for Bitcoin to suddenly rally and crush 200,000 200,000 without any major resistance. So that's the logic behind the AI model. So one more month that we would like to cover is let's cover with go ahead with December 2024. We did talk about what is the theoretical ceiling before, but the floor needs to be adjusted in an event of recession. Let's say we encounter recession in 2024, but not in early parts of 2024. Let's say mid part of 2024. So what could be a realistic uh, theoretical floor as we enter the recovery phase after the recession in 2024 per the AI model is at 19,728. And for context, Bitcoin is right now at 25,000, 26,000, trading it at 26,000, let's say, and monthly average price for September would most likely be between 24,000 and 26,000. So in case of extreme bearish events, this price action, you can see that it can well after 1 year from now can still be lower. So that's something that I wanted to address as well. Just to summarize, the two scenarios is, one is a path without recession, one that says that Bitcoin's trend will be intact, and uh, in the 2024 there will be, per the AI model and not financial, there will be higher valuations than today. At least the base shifts by from today, let's say, from 24,000 to the lower end shifts to 33,000. Similarly, the higher end of forecast shifts from 37,000 to about 47,000. That's the band that we would like to focus in the base case. In the bear case, though, again, or a recession case, this band shifts from 9,000 to about 19,000, again $10,000 range, and the upper level stay intact. So again, I hope you enjoyed this AI based forecast for Bitcoin. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and also leave out comments if you want any suggestion or have any suggestion or want any changes to the approach. And I look forward to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.